Hey guys, it's Tiffany, and you found me for Free Tarot Fridays. It's September the 3rd. We're facing Labor Day weekend here, and I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend. So let's just kick it off with some fun readings for everybody in the zodiac. We're just going through Aries through Pisces and getting a few cards for each sign. You can watch for your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign. I usually just watch for my sun sign, but sometimes it's nice to get an extra layer of information. So we're just clearing the deck here. And if these are useful to you, if you enjoy them, if you tune in to watch it and enjoy it, get something out of it, we always appreciate your virtual tips, of course, through Venmo or PayPal. And I do a longer version of these in our membership, which is only $22 a month. You get 3 decks for your whole sign, and you also get a special membership bonus. This month, September, was Dr. Richard DeStefano. Next month, we are doing well, I'm going to keep it secret, but I've got some special guests lined up for the fall. And in addition to those, you get a new moon meditation, and one more goodie that's not coming. Oh, an all access pass to all of my past workshops. So, clearing the deck, I invite you to check out the membership, the $22 membership, and it's at wiseskiescollective.com. And here we go. Let's clear the deck for Aries. Clearing for Aries. Just getting in touch with the Aries symbology. All right. Didn't have to try too hard. Here's what fell out. The 8 of coins, right? And what's the other one? The 4 of coins. All right. So this is when sometimes you have to work harder than everybody else. You know what I mean? That feeling of having to go back to the drawing board, that feeling of needing to be conservative when you're really kind of tired of being conservative. But these two cards together do feel like hard work will pay off. So I would just say take a real honest approach to where you're spending your energy. You know what I mean? We could talk about money. A lot of you Aries are going to have, this is going to apply to you as it applies towards jobs, but let's talk about it about energy. You know what I mean? Where are you conserving your energy too much? Where do you need to conserve your energy a little bit more? And just being aware of that. You know, are you going to things that you're not invited to? You know what I mean? Are you spinning your wheels in some area that hasn't really even invited you in? You know, where do you need to kind of, focus on your own work for a little while and just be conservative? Where do you need to cook at home versus going out to eat? Where do you need to have a staycation versus going on some bougie trip? Where do you see what I'm seeing? Like, that's the kind of vibe I'm catching, at least for this weekend. And if that doesn't apply, if that doesn't resonate, no problem. It's not always going to 100% of the time. We're just doing this to help align with what's correct for each of us, you know? So if you hear what resonates, it helps you align. And if you hear what doesn't resonate, it helps you align. I'm not letting myself off the hook. I'm just saying, you know, go with the flow with it. It's fun readings. All right, let's clear for Taurus. And sometimes you hear what's right for you and you want to do the wrong thing anyways. Sometimes you see the hole and you step in it anyways. You know what I mean? So trial and error here. All right, let's clear for Taurus. What do our Taurus friends need to hear for the weekend ahead? Clearing for Taurus. Clearing for Taurus. All right. Okay, got it. We get the Wheel of Fortune reversed and the 8 of Cups. And so, you know, to me, the Wheel of Fortune reversed feels like life's a little bit unsettling right now. It feels like things are up in the air, that you can't really predict the future. You know what I mean? It feels like you're willing to take a risk, but you're not sure which direction to go in. You just know that it's not here, right? Like the 8 of Cups, walk away and don't look back. The positive interpretation of that is say yes to your future. The problem is you want to say yes, it doesn't look clear on what that is. So what do we do when it's not clear? Nothing. You know what I mean? We're going to wait to respond. We're going to wait and see what comes up to us. And then we're going to, in that moment, have a visceral experience with our body and give it, you know, a yes or a no. Some people need to ride that emotional wave and have an emotional experience of their decision making. Some people get an instant yes Some people get nothing, which means no. You know what I mean? And so your own decision-making process is your own. But the idea here is that we need a little bit of more life. We know that it's not this, that we're ready for a change, we're ready for something different, and we just need to wait for a little bit of life to be able to respond to it. All right. So that sounds a lot like patience, doesn't it? Patience, faith, those type of things. All right, let's clear the deck for our Geminis. Just clearing for Gemini. Clearing for Gemini. Clearing for Gemini. Clearing for Gemini. Okay. A bunch fell out. All 4 of these fell out. We'll just read them. All right, so we get the 9 of Cups, which is about getting your wish. We get the 2 of Wands, which is about yearning, you know, that sense that there's more to it. You know, like even if you got your wish, would you ever feel satiated? Probably not. We get the Ace of Coins and the 5 of Swords reversed here. And so, you know, this is just like you're going in circles at work. This is you fighting yourself, not starting something new, or you fighting yourself having started something new but being in the same old patterns. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of information right there if you want to sit with that. Knowing that I can't tell you exactly what's right for you, right? Because you were born wise and you have your own ability to figure that out. And the tarot and the astrology and the Akashic records and the 9-star key and the human design and all the things we offer at Wise Skies help you learn help you learn your strategy and your blueprint for you to be able to live your own life. It's a very empowering process. The second you have to go to a psychic for them to tell you how to live your life, you've given all your power, your life force energy away. And that's something we try very hard not to do. We try to empower you to understand yourself better, right? All right. And so these are the tools we use. Let's just clear for Cancer. What do our Cancer friends need to hear? Clearing for Cancer. Okay. We get the King of Cups and the Page of Wands. 7 of Coins reversed. All right, so here it is. The King of Cups, they can be in their cups, so to speak. There can be a time of alcoholism. This can be a time of lots of water, lots of fluids. There can be flooding. There can be, I don't know that I would mean maybe flooding more than, anyways. The Page of Wands rushes something in. The King of Cups is very fluid with it. So whether that's good or bad or how you receive that in the world, you know, has a lot to do with your own inner life, right? The King of Cups is very deeply compassionate, but also very sensitive. And so you might find that you're more sensitive to alcohol, to different beverages, to things that are fluid, like your blood work, stuff like this is worth, considering. The 7 of Cups coins reversed here just feels like things are upside down. This can feel kind of hopeless. This is when things are hopeful and you've planted the seeds and you're waiting, and this is when it feels a little bit hopeless. So this isn't my favorite spread to give you, Cancers, but it does look like it's worth talking about because, you know, if you've got some big, huge, deep feelings that are rushing in and there's a sense of hopelessness behind it, that can feel very, very intense, you know? So if that speaks to you, if that's resonating, if that's what's going on with you, my recommendation is to feel all the way through it and try to not take things personally, but to feel all the way through it, because if you just kind of stuff it back there, you're going to be living your life from a place of the feelings stuffed back here, and it's going to spill out, you know what I mean? Like you're going to be a volcano as opposed to addressing the little things, the little feelings before they pile up. That's the king, like everything's piled up. So coming from a place of your own emotional integrity is going to be really important for you, Cancers. Just clearing the deck for our Leos now. Clearing for Leo. What do our Leos need to hear for the weekend ahead? Just something that would give them a little bit of clarity, advice, or guidance. Clearing for Leo. All right, we get the Tower reversed and the Hermit reversed. It looks like you just can't get some personal space. It's like you every time you try to step away or unplug, something happens. You know what I mean? It's like this feeling like enough is enough, right? And so there's going to be a lot of these enough is enough moments for all of us throughout September, with the numerology, with the 9-star energy moving in as well. The changes in the cosmos, it does feel like there will be a point where we've had enough, you know? And I don't know how that's going to play out for each of us, but what I can say is this particular Leo reading has to do with not having enough personal space, you know? I mean, there's a lot of research and evidence for everybody sleeping by themselves. You know, if you look at your own human design, that can be really helpful. Like, for example, those of you that are projectors, you don't want to sleep within 12 feet of like a manifesting generator, because you're going to be receiving all of their energy and programming all night long, and you're going to wake up a little bit worn out, you know what I mean? And you're going to need more sleep throughout the day. And so this idea that regardless of your human design, it just feels like some of you Leos really need your personal space to recalibrate. And that an easy way to work with that is sleeping by yourself. It doesn't mean that you don't love your partner or your kids or anything like that. It just means that you've got to recalibrate your system. You can be, maybe you're being run by somebody else's programming and you don't even know it. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. All right, it's like a word roller coaster. All right, let's clear the deck for who's after Leo. Let's see, 5, 6, Virgo, right? Yeah. So let's clear the deck for our Virgos. What do our Virgos need to hear for the weekend ahead? Just clearing the deck for Virgos. Okay. All right. We get the Lovers and the 9 of Cups. All right, so this is falling in love with life. This is getting a really sacred connection. This is wishing for a twin flame and seeing it unfold. This is like quality time with your partner. This is knowing your love language and asking for it. You know what I mean? This doesn't mean it's all good news all the time. It means like, wow, you're coming into right alignment with what's correct for you in terms of your love life. And it feels like wishes granted. So be sure to say a big, huge thank you in some area. You know what I mean? It feels like wishes granted. So remembering to be grateful. You can experience this with pets, the natural kingdom, plants, minerals. You can experience this love connection with the cosmos after you've done like a wonderful yoga and chanting and meditation system, and you have that bliss that you're just connected. You can have this experience with another person. But however you experience that great connection of love, this is a really cool setup. So congratulations, Virgo, you're winning the Free Tarot Friday lottery. All right, let's clear now for Libra. Let's clear for Libra and see what our Libras need to hear. Okay. All right, for Libras, we get a Knight of Coins and a Knight of Swords. I'm going to keep going here. 5 of Swords. This looks like conflicting energy. And with all of the Libra energy coming into the month of September, where we'll have Mars there, we'll have the Sun there, we'll have Mercury there going retrograde in Libra, right? In your sign, there's a lot of activity in the cosmos. And so it's going to be natural for there to be conflicts and conflicting energy. Do you go with the practical approach or the passionate approach? Do you go with what's logical and realistic and financially secure? Or have you just had enough and you need to spout something else out and go in a different direction? That is the internal conflict going on right now. Again, I'm not going to give you a solution because that would be very disempowering of me. But what I will say for you to do is to consider the art of doubt, right? Read the September astrology forecast, the art of doubt, that we have at wiseskiescollective.com, and play with it. Listen to the podcast. See if you get any ideas. See if anything applies, so that you can be like, okay, I'm going to weigh my options. And just because it looks like a good deal doesn't mean I have to take it. I'm learning to use my own strategy and authority in a way that I'm aligned with my own decision-making process. And I've been conditioned to make decisions very incorrectly for a long time, right? Unless you've started the deconditioning process, right? So your decision maker, in a lot of ways, ours, has been operating under a veil of illusion. So how can we have a decision-making process that's a little bit more clear, authentic, and in our own integrity? That's going to take practice. It's going to take some trial and error. You know what I mean? So play with that. Play with that word roller coaster. All right. After Libra comes Scorpio. Let's clear the deck for our Scorpios watching. Clearing for Scorpio, just seeing what it is that Scorpio needs to know for the weekend ahead. Clearing for Scorpio. Okay. We got the Chariot reverse, the Hermit reverse. I went ahead and pulled the Ace of Swords. This is interesting to me, right? And so the Chariot reverse, things going in reverse. And the Hermit reverse, feeling really unplugged, feeling really distant, feeling detached, feeling emotionally insecure, right? Feeling like 2 steps backwards is not going to get us 1 step forward, right? And so it's that there's some fear there, there's some sadness there, there's some curiosity there, there's some faith, and there's some hope. There's all of the things, right? But it is this feeling of a lack of connection. And in terms of human design, sometimes that's important, and sometimes there's other, like the projectors need to plug in, right? They need to plug in, and the manifesting generators need some personal space, and they need to be able to invite the projectors in. I'm weaving the language of human design in so that you can get curious, because we're about to offer it as sessions, and it changed everything. So just keep that in mind, right? If you're not into human design, don't worry. All of this can still apply. We're in the Scorpio reading, right? So just that sense of needing to focus, right? Needing to not feel spread too thin, needing to not have to, this is pushing pause instead of pushing forward. You'll see that language in the September forecast as well. This Ace of Swords is making me smile because the other day, I mean, I'm having all these crazy dreams right now as we get into the fall. And yesterday, I was just listening to my system, and I decided to get a warm, hot breakfast beverage instead of going to my workout, which is very counterintuitive. You know, like I was really listening to my body vehicle instead of my mind. And I went, and the price was $6.66, which is hilarious. But also, my daughter had recently pulled up all of the angel numbers, and the 666 requires a change of perspective, requires unplugging, right? All of these requires unplugging so that you can have an Ace of Swords different perspective. You can see it differently. Another way this came up for me, can you guys see my scar? It's right here. Big long scar, and it's an eye, and it's in runes. So we have a rune teacher coming in November, and I'm fascinated with her. But I was talking with her on the phone yesterday, and she's like, this eye represents ice. You know, it represents the rune ice. And my lineage is Russian. It's frozen water. All of my planets in Scorpio are frozen water. What do you need to pause and really look at all angles clearly? What needs to slow down so that you can see it clearly, right? So those are some examples of my own life in terms of that Scorpio reading. Hopefully that's useful to some of you. And maybe there's something that you need to slow down in order to look at, right? Doesn't mean anything. Just means you need to slow it down to look at it. All right, let's clear for Sagittarius. Let's clear for Sagittarius. What do our Sag friends need to hear? What would be useful advice for any Sages watching for the weekend ahead? Clearing for Sag. Clearing for Sages. I'm going to shuffle again here. Okay, whoa. Cars are jumping everywhere. I'm going to try one more time. All right. Let's clear the deck for Sag. There we go. Okay, that's what needed to happen. We get the Ace of Coins reversed. We get the Strength card. All right, so this is about perseverance. You know, this is about finding stability within yourself. This is about trusting that you'll be invited to the right situation at the right time. The Ace of Coins reversed, it sometimes can feel like we're not quite making enough, like we aren't enough, you know what I mean? That feeling that we're not enough. And the Strength card is reminding you that yes, you are. You're perfect. You are more than enough. And there's more than enough unconditional love to go around. There's more than enough resources to go around. So if you're feeling, if you're identifying with that sense of that Ace of Coins reverse, like something's not quite happening on the time frame you wanted it to, or the new beginning doesn't feel like you're lit up about it, It's okay, again, to push pause and reassess. All of that, Libra, all of the Mercury retrograde, all of that reassessment going on the month of September. This is an ideal time for you to figure out what is it that you really do want to do. What do you want to do? You know, it's going to require some perseverance and strength on your part, probably some humility, some kindness, right? She doesn't get a lion sitting on her lap from like guns blazing attitude, right? There's got to be a soft approach and a waiting period so that you can be invited. You know, it's like okay to put yourself out there, and then this Ace of Coins reverse is telling me like there's a timing issue at play. You know, there's something that you're growing through, right? And that's perfect. So patience, perseverance, knowing that all resources and connections are coming, right? Knowing that you can plug directly into source energy anytime you want to feel that experience of love, strength, and hope, right? All right, let's clear the deck for Capricorn. Clearing for Capricorn. Clearing for our Capricorn friends. What do our Capricorns need to hear? All right, we get a Page of Swords and a Strength card. So similar energy here. It's like, man, something's just got to be said. You just got to go forward and say it. You know, this is a truth card. So there's some truth serum coming out here. And there's an equal amount of patience, perseverance, strength, receiving. Right, this is a very feminine setup to get. So this can also indicate boundaries, you know, like I have this great book I'm reading right now by Nedra. I can't think of her last name. A lot of you follow her on Instagram too. But it's about setting boundaries. And it like the title is kind of off-putting because nobody wants to feel like they have to read a book about boundaries. It's really brilliant, you know. I have my background in health psychology. She has such a great, beautiful template and format for it. But this card to me does represent truth, clarity, boundaries, and sometimes blurting things out. You know what I mean? So this is a card of not blurting things out, being patient, observing. What can you witness without having to do anything about? You know, what can you witness without having to take it personally and take action and respond to? Where can you just be a little bit more set back and let things come to you, and you discern what's right and truthful for you, right? Yoga is the process of aligning with our true self and deprogramming our not self, right? Yoga off the mat is what I'm talking about. All right, I feel like I've gone around the world with my words, so thanks for following me and hanging in there. Hopefully there's something connecting for you. Let's clear now. Okay, these spell out for Aquarius. We get the Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant backwards. So this can also be a topsy-turvy time in life where you're not really sure what you're plugged into, what you're committed to, what you're devoted to, and it just feels like a lot of big things are changing. A lot of things are on the horizon, and that's exciting, but it's a little bit mysterious. So you too are being called now to unplug from everything that you were committed to and reassess your commitments. Some of them you will rebuild. Some of them you will rebuild with new rules, new boundaries, new ideas, new plans. Some of them you will not rebuild, and you will learn from these experiences of the things that you've been committed to and choose another way. You know, it doesn't look like you're going to keep repeating a pattern here. It looks like something needed to break down in order that you could figure out what your priorities were, and that's a little uncomfortable. You know, it's a little uncomfortable. So as they say, if they're unhappy and you're uncomfortable, one of you's growing. You know what I mean? One of you's growing. It's usually you. Okay? All right. Let's clear the deck for our Pisces. That was fast, huh? Let's clear the deck for Pisces. Clearing the deck for Pisces. Clearing the deck for Pisces now. Shake it up here. Clearing the deck for Pisces. Okay, so many cards fell out. Pisces, the Two of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Tower, all reversed here. And so this to me is overcoming unhealthy relationships. You know what I mean? It's overcoming some area of your life that, like, relationships needed a little bit of a fine tuning, and things have been maybe upsetting in some of your relationships. Maybe somebody told you that you didn't belong in a place that you do belong. You know what I mean? Somebody told you to back off and you didn't want to. You know what I mean? You told somebody to back off and they didn't want to. It just feels like things are a little bit blurry and ouchy in terms of our relationships, and this is what this is what you're growing through right now, right? And so how can you take the high road? How can you take the road with the most emotional responsibility for yourself, for you to protect yourself? You don't have to keep putting yourself in situations with people that are draining you, right? So what situation, what relationships are draining you? What needs to change? What are you avoiding changing? You know, what relationships are you avoiding changing? That's what I would have you consider for the weekend. Let's do one more, a universal card for everybody watching. In case nothing made sense, maybe this one will. In case everything made sense, maybe this one will help provide an extra layer of clarity. This one's for everybody, just one singular card of focus, a keyword, something we can kind of use in the weekend ahead, Labor Day weekend. All right, let's clear the deck and tap in. Oh, so many cards fell out. This is a universal card for everybody watching Free Tarot Friday. Nine of Cups, you get your wish. You get your wish, guys. Doesn't get much better than that. It's like wishes granted, a feeling of contentment, a feeling of emotional fulfillment, you know. And so if you're not experiencing that, I just encourage you to pretend that you are. Get the frequency going. Start vague. Listen to some Abraham Hicks and help you like swirl your emotions around starting big and vague, and then it'll fine tune, and you'll know what you want by what you don't want, right? There'll be some of that trial and error that'll show up, but this is a really positive card. So go ahead, prepare for the new moon on Tuesday night. The new moon's going to be the 6th in 14 degrees of Virgo. In our inner circle group on Facebook, we have a whole thread going where the new moon's going to hit everybody's chart. If you need help, we help you. But this is I love the new moon in Virgo. It's a great time for making wishes. So this is a reminder to everybody too, to be really clear with what you're trying to create. This is a great time to change your address numerology, change the vibe in your home, rearrange your furniture, clean your house, clean your mind, get some inventory out of your head, some more intense emotions out of your head and out of the mind, so that you can grow yourself and unprogram your not self. You know what I mean? So step forward. You don't have to figure it all out. All you have to do is be present and enjoy the fact that you know that if nothing's happening, that everything is happening, right? That the universe is there providing for you, right? This is a card of provision. All right, guys. So until we can work together again, please come back next week, because I hope to have the new website up by then. The new logo is super cute. The new branding, the new feel, the new space, the new offers. I'm just so excited about it. So thank you for spending some time with me. Again, if this has spoken to you, I really do appreciate your virtual tips through PayPal or Venmo, which are in the description link. And if you missed anything, if you're like, what did she say? All of that is at the forecast at wiseskiescollective.com. The September forecast, podcast, YouTube, all of it's up. You can see my take on it. I know there's a sea of astrologers and readers out there, so I always appreciate hearing from you. If you'll leave a little comment, like, and subscribe. I do go through each one, and it does really touch me. It does really mean something to me and everybody on the Wise Skies team. So lots of things are happening behind the scenes over here. Lots of things are happening in your life as well, and I just love hearing from you guys. So until we can work together again, may your thoughts be pure, may your hearts be pure, may your words be pure, and namaste.